94.5 KULT. You're listening to Pope and Ayo here on Wednesday night. It is 8:31 right now. And we are continuing our NISG candidate special tonight. We have KaLeigh and Alicia in the studio right now. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
There you go. So our format here is pretty open. We give you this time just to kind of highlight what your platform is and what makes you guys unique to the campaign. So first thing we'll open up with is just basically tell us about yourselves, give us an idea of your platform and what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, well, my name is KaLeigh White. I am currently serving as the Student Body Vice President and running for Student Body President with Alicia this year. I'm a Sociology and Public Administration double major.
And I am a junior majoring in Communication Studies with a minor in Political Science and a minor in Spanish, and I'm running for Student Body Vice President.
And our platform really focuses on, well, it kind of is based on our slogan, which is inform, involve, and inspire. The first part of that inform is we want students to be aware of the things and the issues that impact their daily lives as UNI students, but beyond that, we want them to be involved in that process so that they're not just a participant in the policies that are implemented, but they're an active participant. And at that same time, we want them to be inspired to be involved in that process so that they feel empowered and that they have the ability to have some control over their time here at UNI.
Exactly. KaLeigh really hit the nail on the head right there, especially intertwining our slogan with that. Like, that was when we sat down and said, okay, well, what 3 things do we really want students to get out of their time here at UNI? And we came up with that slogan. I guess another thing to talk about our platform is our goal is to make NISG as transparent as possible. I've talked about before what kind of motivated me personally to get involved with student government is I felt that there was like an intimidation factor with I had no idea what the acronym stood for. I had no idea what they did, but I knew that what they were doing was impacting me, much like any ratio of government. So I figured I should have a know of what was going on. So I just applied, and soon enough I started getting involved, and I thought, okay, how many other students then are left not knowing what NISG is or what NISG does? And so KaLeigh and I have worked really hard on trying to make that transparent, whether it be updating Facebook stats or posting in groups about different opportunities happening on campus, just really getting the word out there that, hey, you have just as much of a right and a say and an opinion as we do, and we want to hear it.
Great. And if you were to say something about your campaign, maybe some changes you'd like to make or implement that we might not know off the top of our heads, give us some ideas on that, something you're hoping to accomplish that people might not know.
Yeah, well, one thing that may not seem very big or very tangible, but is going to mean a lot for the future of the UNI student body and for the continued transparency and accountability of NISG is our strategic plan. We sort of had the beginning implementation of that this year, but to see it to its fullest potential, we're hoping to continue that. And basically, the outline of that is that the transition period between each administration is going to be smoother so that ideas from one administration don't get lost from over the years. That way, students' ideas and what they're concerned about doesn't get chopped up between each year. We sort of feel like there's a lot of initiatives that are really great and are supported by students, but they don't reach their fullest potential because of the transition period and because there's not strong enough communication between each administration.
Exactly. And I think another thing, too, about our platform that makes us a little bit more unique is our stance on diversity and inclusivity. I feel like every candidate has a strong approach on that, but what separates us is that we have it implemented within our whole entire platform, because you can have one whole space about just diversity and inclusivity, but unless you are actually listing out different initiatives or goals and objectives you have with it, that's a hard concept to try to throw out on the university. So I think, for example, one of them we have is within the fraternity and sorority life. How do we make that more open and visible to multicultural minority students? I personally am a part of Greek life, and it's brought me a ton of leadership opportunities and a lot of networking that I never would have ever thought without joining. So I think opening that up to the rest of the student body and say, hey, once again, this is for you just as much as it is for me, and allowing students to feel comfortable stepping into something that may have not been in their box beforehand.
NISG candidates KaLeigh and Alicia here on Pope and Ayo 94.5 KULT. You kind of read my mind there for my next question. I was going to say, if you had to say what makes your campaign unique from the others, what really stands out with both of you?
Well, first and foremost, our level of experience. We have established relationships with people across campus and with the Board of Regents. We have built that trust with faculty members, with administration, and with student orgs, most importantly. We have those connections, and so we know how to utilize them from day one to make sure things get done quickly and efficiently, and we don't have that lag time between transitioning. And that's going to be really important to getting things done next year and making sure that we use our time wisely and most effectively.
And I think another thing, too, even something that KaLeigh and I have just now recently discovered is just how well we complement each other and how well we kind of feed off of each other. I mean, I always say, like, she came in right away with her involvement and her skills, and we just have very different, unique skills that they just work and blend really well together. I think me with my interpersonal skills and as a communication major and really kind of getting to know people, and KaLeigh being so detail oriented and nitty gritty, just I don't know how to say, I think you're super smart and I really admire you. So I think we just balance each other out really, really well. And we're not from the same pod. We're two different peas that are from a different pod, and we come together for one, if that makes sense.
A well-balanced salad, if you will.
Right.
Thank you. A well-balanced salad. I was like, what analogy? Two peas in a pod. Thank you. Exactly. A well-balanced salad, and a good one, too.
Excellent. Well, we'll be right back with KaLeigh and Alicia here on NISG Candidate Special here on Pope and Ayo. But for the time being, and welcome back. You're listening to Pope and Ayo here on 94.5 KULT, and welcome KaLeigh and Alicia. I got corrected during the break. I got it right now. Right?
By KaLeigh. So look out for me.
She has to clarify.
Yeah.
Alicia. Okay. Got it right. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Well, welcome back. We're glad to have you here on the show. And we'll start off back with the questions. And so if the KaLeigh and Alicia ticket gets elected, what are some short-term goals and what are some long-term goals? That's right, fingers crossed, that you hope to accomplish when you're in office?
Well, I think for short-term goals, we really just want to establish our face on campus, make sure that people know who we are. We think that's really the first step in transparency, is so people see us and the members of our cabinet, I guess, on campus and are comfortable to stop us and say, hey, I have this concern and I would like to talk to you about it. So I think that just the beginning short terms is let people know who we are, make sure that they know how to get a hold of us and what we can offer them.
Yeah. And I think for long-term goals, I think that kind of just ties into KaLeigh's character overall and just how selfless she is when it comes to working for students. I think we both are on the same page that it doesn't matter if the goals we have now aren't accomplished with our name behind it. So like people aren't like, oh yeah, KaLeigh and Alicia did that. That does not matter for us as long as the goals are implemented. So we recognize that some goals that we have might not be completed within our term, but with our strategic plan, we set it up so that it can be carried out, and the next administration that does come can work on it, modify it, and improve it if need be, and it can get implemented that way. So we're not concerned about the long-term goals like having our name or recognition tied to it, just as long as they're completed and in a way that is legitimately going to better you and I.
Okay, great. A less political questions, so that way you guys don't have to stick completely to the platform. What's something you'd like to tell supporters and anyone hope that's going to vote this year? Something unique about yourself that voters might want to know about? Just an interesting fact.
Unique about ourselves, or do we just want to tell them something?
Yeah.
Okay, you tell them something unique, and I'll just tell them something.
Something unique.
I got him. I stumped you guys.
Yeah, you did.
Like you.
All right, I'll go with the unique. I'm 5'11",
this would be easy.
which
I'm
is
sorry.
unique. Yeah, something unique. No, that was the curveball. It was the different political one. You got us there, strike. No, just kidding. Okay, I think with unique, I'll go ahead and just say that I'm half Mexican and half Panamanian, and I can speak Spanish fluently, so that's not usually a combination you see in Iowa running around. I think something that KaLeigh and I would both like to just say to our supporters is that, as supporters, we see it as your duty to not only hold us accountable, but to keep telling us your guys' opinions, concerns, comments, whether it be positive feedback or constructive criticism. Like, we want to hear. We're not in office for each other. We're in office for the students, and we can only do that if we are legitimately getting the students' voices heard.
All right, so sorry about the curveball. That was not intentional.
Whatever. I'm just kidding.
I feel like I have nothing super exciting that's super, fun. I mean, I have lots of unique things, but they're all kind of silly.
That's fine. Hey, silly is good on this show.
Okay.
What's a unique thing about you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, this is hard.
Oh, yeah, curveball. Okay.
Yeah, you get the shoe on the other foot, and it's like, man, I am dreadfully boring.
Right.
No, I guess I'll just go to the cop out. We've been on KULT for what, 2.5 years now as Pope and Ayo. So celebrating
Someone
tenure.
just aged themselves.
A little bit, yeah.
Just kidding.
I've been around for a while. Well, remind us again, when does voting take place and how can you do that?
Yeah, voting takes place February 26th and 27th, so this coming Tuesday and Wednesday on My Universe. You can just go to the Life at UNI tab and click on the voting and surveys box, and you can vote from there. Or you can go to KaLeighandAlicia.com, click on the vote link, and take you right to the correct page.
Yeah, and we want to stress how important it is to vote. We were realizing that I think in any NISG election, the maximum amount of students to ever vote is about 2,000. There are over 13,000 students here on this university. That is a number that needs to change.
Sure.
So vote.
Absolutely. Get out there. It's not that hard, I can say, because I can affirm that everyone on the show last year voted, and it's not that hard to do, so just get on My Universe and do it. Your voice is very important.
There you go. Let them know.
That's right. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us. We really appreciate it. Best of luck for the rest of the campaign. Now, one other note, tomorrow is the debate, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's 5:30 in the Coffee House of the Union, and all three candidates will be there, so it's a great chance to compare all of our platforms side by side. Great way to interact with the candidates, and if you don't want to ask a question, there'll be plenty of people there asking questions, so you can hear all sides.
You can also passively aggressively do it via Twitter.
Oh, that I did not know.
Oh, right. You can ask questions on Twitter tomorrow. If you want to tweet in a question, they'll be reading questions off Twitter.
And what is the Twitter tag to send that to?
I believe it's hashtag NISG elections.
Okay, great. All right, well, I guess I'll leave the floor open if you have any last notes you want to add. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, I would just like to thank everybody for listening tonight, and we hope that you'll come out and vote on the 26th and 27th. We really appreciate all the support that we've had so far and have enjoyed talking to students and hope to continue doing so over the course of the next week.
Absolutely. Can we do the typical hi mom shout out?
Oh, absolutely. We encourage that.
Hi mom, I love you and I miss you.
Great. Well, KaLeigh and Alicia running for NISG. I got it right?
Yes,
I got
you
it
did.
right.
Thank you.
Running for NISG president and vice president. And like we do with all of our guests, they deserve a round of applause. Thank you again for coming on the show. It was a lot of fun, and best of luck to you for the rest of the campaign.
Thanks.
All right. So, listeners, we're going to send it back to some music.